We are live, folks. What's going on? It's your man Jay. We're going to do a brief live stream. I told you guys that I would do a quick live stream on the Axon 10 Pro. So hopefully you guys will join your Monday. No Monday news, just kind of kicking it, hanging out. What's going on, Malik? Appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have time to hang out for a little bit, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Axon 10 Pro and how good it is. You can a live Q&A. We're going to dig in here and I'm going to get to your questions. There's a lot of things going on with this device, and I want to get to your questions on it live. I prefer to do it this way instead of typing in a bunch of comments. I'll go ahead and get to your Q&A live right now. So spur of the moment thing, I was sitting around, I was kind of finished doing a few things, and I said, I'm going to go ahead and just do a brief live stream with the talk about the device. So let me get my question, mute this audio. Let me get my comment section open here. So first of all, shout out to everybody that's taking time out of their Monday to talk about this wonderful device. I want to get your questions, pop them down in there, and I'll go ahead and start answering some of these questions. Don't forget to put your location from where you are. Thanks for joining. What's going on? Forbes Tech Rant. See a lot of people in here. Thanks for joining me on a Monday. Today's Monday, right? Yeah, today's Monday the 2nd. Today's Monday the 2nd. So, yeah, so we're going to talk about the Axon 10 Pro and how wonderful this device is. So, if you're just coming in, don't forget to drop your location down so I can see where you are, see who I'm chatting with. And we're going to kick this thing off. We ask that you keep it simple and civil. Be respectful to each other. You know how I get down. And we'll ask, we'll answer your questions. And I'll get this done for you. Again, I was going to do an actual do an actual video for this. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna kick up a live stream real quick, man. I'm gonna be on the run for a little bit, so I wanted to go ahead and just go ahead and throw up a live stream real quick. So this will take care of this for you. So let me scroll back here on the chat. Tech Rant, I forgot to enable the thing where you told me it goes slower on the chat. For me, I forgot, so I'm gonna have to scroll up. Thanks for joining me. I just decided to go ahead and use the Moto G7 for this live stream. I didn't want to have all the laptops and everything spread out. So, because I'm going to be heading out in a little bit. So I was like, I'm just going to grab the Moto G7 and pop it up and start the stream. So I'm going to just start up here and go up to some of the questions that I see first. If I don't get to your question in this live stream, I'll definitely have a part 2 if you guys want that. So first question I see from Malik Austin. Is it a worthy alternative to the OnePlus 7 Pro and the potential OnePlus 7T? Quick answer is yes, in my opinion. And real brief, folks, when you're listening to me say this, I'm not saying my word is bond. I'm not saying that I'm right and everybody else's opinion is wrong. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, and I have the OnePlus 7 Pro, and I've already done a video on that. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check out the OnePlus 7 Pro versus the Axon 10 Pro, and you will be happy to know the results. So is it a worthy competitor or alternative, to the OnePlus 7 and 7? Yeah, of course. It's only $550 for 8 gig, 256 gig model, and $599 for 12 gig, 256 gig model. Hands down, it's amazing. Let's see here. Looking for more. Is it better than the OnePlus 7 Pro? Tech Rant, I got a video on now. Check that out if you haven't already seen it. Is the Axon 10 better than the Axon M? Yeah, okay, for a sec. Is it worth buying an Axon 10 over a OnePlus 7 Pro? I think so. I mean, like when phone, that's from Dante Blair. If a phone isn't out yet, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what's coming. You got to live for now and just get the choices out there. And I'm telling you firsthand, I would not tell a person, I've already compared the OnePlus 7 Pro and the Axon 10 Pro. And the OnePlus 7 Pro, while it has a few more options and features, the smarter purchase for what you get is definitely the Axon 10 Pro. I mean, it's just a much better purchase. Does it support band 71? It has all the bands. This is unlocked for the US. It has all the bands. Yes. Told the text I hit up ZTE and was like, let me buy it early. Crazy. I'm recording. If you didn't see, I guess I'm late on the chat, but this is the Moto G7 total text going on. Looking for more questions. How's the audio on it? Jersey, what's up? That's from Daryl Woodbury. The audio on the Axon 10 Pro, if you haven't already seen it, I've got several videos up. I'm actually working on my 1-week review for this. So I thought what better way is to go ahead and throw up a live stream with a Q&A before that. But the audio on here for recording and everything is absolutely fantastic. You can't go wrong with the audio for recording videos and things like that. Looking for more questions down here. Let me see here. Does it support bands? Okay, yeah, I already covered that. It's got all the bands. Read this chat here. How does the display wake up notifications, icons, Samsung phones? This has always on display. This phone has always on display. As you can see there. It has always on display, so as you can see all the notifications that I have right there. It also has very fast facial recognition, like it's blazing fast, and it has an in-screen fingerprint reader too, right down there. So the fingerprint reader is really fast. Yeah. How does it compare to the A50? It's much better than the A50. Is it better than the G8? It's a strong competitor to the G8. You have to wait on that video because I am working on a bunch of stuff. So yeah, we'll give you that video later on. Do you think 90 hertz is overrated? This phone doesn't have 90 hertz, so you know. Thoughts on it versus the Samsung Galaxy small Galaxy Note 10? It's a competitor. Yeah, this competes with those phones. It's just because it's a Note doesn't mean it can't be compared to other phones. This phone is much lower in cost, and you get 8 gigs for $550 with 256 gigs of storage and an SD card. So that front alone is better than the Note 10, the smaller variant. And this has an AMOLED display too. So you do the math. You get a nice big display, a little bit bigger display, as a matter of fact, and it costs half the cost of the Note 10, the smaller variant. So just because the Note 10 has an S Pen, this has stock Android, AMOLED display, SD card. I mean, it's got the 24-bit audio. It's banging, man. It's really good. I would tell a person to buy that over the Galaxy Note 10 smaller variant. Axon 10 Pro or ZenFone 6. Don't have, that's from Jason. I don't have the ZenFone 6, so I really can't comment on whether you should purchase it over it. So, I mean, the Axon, the ZenFone 6 looks like a cool phone, but that flip-up camera from the back of the phone, I don't know how I would get along with that. I got the Bible app on all my phones. Yeah, for sure. What about cameras? Is the camera better than okay, look, I'm catching these questions late, but after this live stream, go on my channel, folks. I've already compared the OnePlus 7 Pro next to the Axon 10 Pro. So you check that out and you get your answers for that there. Do you recommend the Note 10? Oh, that has nothing to do with this. Man, if you don't like the G8's cameras, something's wrong. Does it have a pro mode for video settings? I don't believe, I know it has pro mode, but let me go over to the settings here. And you've got manual mode here for photos and video. Let's see here. Panorama, sport, slow motion. No, it has, it just looks like it just has the regular video mode, and then it has a pro mode for photos though. Yeah, it has pro mode for photos. So yeah, it has it for photos, but not video. That's that question. Can you do scrolling screenshots? See? Let's take a screenshot real quick and see if it gives the option for scrolling screenshot. Extend it. Yep, you can. You can do a scroll. It's an option at the bottom down there. Right down there, it says scroll capture. So yeah, you can do that. So that's good. Ask me anything. That's your answer. Yes, so scrolling screenshots. How does it handle Type-C to HDMI? Yeah, it handles Type-C very well. Just if you're just coming in, if you're posting questions, just remember it's a little delayed for me, so I started from the top to get your questions answered. Yes, it is IP68 rated, so you've got your water protection and everything. How does the speaker sound? Again, I've compared those, but I'll play something right now for you. If you want me to play something, I'll play a video here or something, just to give you some sense of what it could be like. Let's find a video with some music. And again, this is coming through this audio from this video, so you're not going to get the best quality, but you'll see how loud it is. Let's grab a video that I've done with music. Here's one right here. Now this music that I'm playing here, it's not like an official, it's through a video. So it's gonna be a little lower than normal, but you get some sense. The stereo speakers on here are actually really, really loud. And I've already compared them next to the Axon 7 as well. So yeah. Is it better than your Pixel phones? I don't know, that's too vague of a question. Looking for more questions down here. Is the SD card read and write speed capped? I don't know what you mean by that, but I've put high-speed cards in here, and I had no problems with the SD card at all. So I haven't compared it to the Pixel cameras yet. Pretty much no phone can beat the Pixel cameras for still shots, but as far as video goes, we'll see how that turns out. Yes, it has a built-in DAC. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. It's just that I was on the home page, like my desktop, so that's why I didn't do the scroll shot, but it does do long web page scroll shots. Vibe Nation, what's up, man? Well, I don't want to do videos on TVs, man. This is about no disrespect, Michael, but this is about the Axon 10. I don't want to talk about TVs and video consoles and stuff like that. How's the reception and connection quality? I talked about that in another video as well. Cliff, what's up, Cliff? The phone has great reception, no issues whatsoever. It's really good. I've been using it. As you can see, my signal there is very strong, and it's got voice over LTE. It's got Wi-Fi calling if you have T-Mobile, so it's really solid. No problems whatsoever. It's running the latest one, Android Pie, and it's talked to ZTE, and they said that they're going to make sure it has Android 10 by the end of the year. And that's only a few months away. So they're making promises. Hopefully they'll keep up on it. It's running stock Android, by the way. What's the screen size compared to the S10 in Spirit? Well, it's a 6.47 inch, so it's a 6.5 inch. So, you do the math, it's about the same. Just see here. Looking for more questions. What about after buy service? I mean, you got to talk to ZTE. I don't work for ZTE. I just got the phone here for you. So I hear a lot of people talking about warranties and things like that. I've never really, only company I've had to file some kind of warranty with was Blue. And that lets you know how long ago I've had to file a claim for something that broke. I've only had a Blue phone break on me where it needed requirements of sending it in for warranty. But all these other phones, man, I've never had a problem with warranties on phones and, aftercare. So I don't know. You have to read up on the terms and conditions on the ZTE website. Yeah, it's on the latest. It's on August. We're in September, and it's on the August security patch. That's where all phones are at right now. No one has the September security patch, and it's on the August security patch, just like all the other phones that are up there that are updated. Is there a dark mode? I never looked for a dark mode, actually. I have to go in here and look. I never looked for a dark mode. I wonder if that'll be under display. I got the size, always on display. That's the night mode. I'll have to dig in here and see. It's got screen effects. Wow, that's cool. I have to look in here and see some more, but on the surface right now, I don't see any kind of dark mode, but I'm sure there's a dark mode in there. It has wireless charging too. Yes, it does have wireless charging. That is correct. It has wireless charging. ZTE pretty much threw everything in here, man. Let's see. Looking for more of your questions, folks. Do all three cameras have optical image stabilization? I would definitely say you need to check out ZTE's website. When I shoot with phones, I just walk in the front yard, go in the backyard. Shout out to Tech King Mike for the super chat, man. I appreciate that just popped up. I appreciate it. But as far as stabilization goes, it has stabilization, and it has like the steady thing on here. It has like a super steady mode or something like that for the video, and it definitely works. I just shot the video, my normal spill. Yeah. Speakers, mono, it's Dolby Atmos and it's stereo speakers. Do you know if it'll get 3-year Android updates like the Pixels do? It should. They're already going to drop. It's on the latest one. Yeah, and it should. They already promised that they're going to get the next update in the next few months by the end of the year. So let's hope that they do. I mean, I don't know for sure, but let's hope that they do. Things like let me give you a tip on stuff like that. If a phone doesn't sell well, it's probably not going to get the latest Android update. And so ZTE looks like they're promising, at least since this phone just dropped, they're promising at least that the next update. So that's cool. I can't speak past that. So anybody who keeps telling me to put on the Gcam, I don't do Gcam, man. I don't do Gcam. It defeats the purpose of reviewing a phone. If I want a Google Pixel, I have a Google Pixel. So that's the only place I'm using Google camera software is on Google Pixel devices. I don't use Gcam. I'm totally against it. Now, and it doesn't do anything for the phones. All the hype people say, oh, it made it look better. I don't believe that. How long have I been using as my daily driver? Probably, that's from Andre, probably about a month, I guess, a month maybe. Because ZTE sent this out to me and I just sat on it and used it, kept it on the low. So I've had it for about a month, probably. Wait, no, it's been, what's today's date? Just under a month. So I've had a lot of time with it. Yeah. Is there an option to hide the cutout at the top? Well, this isn't a big cutout. This isn't that kind of cutout. So this is that smaller one. So it's not really, you wouldn't really need to hide it. You would be cutting it off, but I don't believe there's an option. But it's not as bad as what you think. So like if I have it on this screen right here, that's a small cutout. It's like the little dip in there. So it's not like what you think. I'm not really swayed by that. It doesn't really bother me at all. No, it doesn't shoot portrait video. No, but if I wanted to do portrait video, all I have to do is get close to the camera and do a macro video, and it'll look like a portrait video. 267, what's going on, D? I don't know, man. This Savage Scientist, I have no idea if they're releasing anything else. This phone is pretty much brand new, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. How's the headphone jack on the Axon 10? Well, this doesn't have a headphone jack, but it still has Dolby Atmos. So what they do is they give you the adapter. And I'm gonna tell you something. This is one of the first phones I've used Type-C with the adapter, and it sounds just like a regular headphone jack. Like they have DACs in their phones, so the DAC in here, when you plug in that adapter, it's really good. I have no reason to mislead you. I kid you not. It sounds just like there's a regular headphone jack. I don't know how they did it, but it sounds really good. Tony Pazzo, what's going on? How's it sound with the new Sony's, man? I love my Sony's. It sounds great. When you put the Sony's next to this phone, and I think it probably does with a lot of phones, but when you put the Sony's next to this phone, when I opened it up, all the software just popped up on the phone already for the Sony's, and I didn't do anything. It just popped up and was like, yo, plug these up, and the sound is amazing. The Sony's are really good already. No, it doesn't have 90 hertz. Doesn't have 90 hertz. Gestures like 3-finger screenshot, twin, dual app, ability voice work. Yeah, it has a lot of gestures in the phone. So dig into it once you order yours. But this phone is loaded with gestures, so it's like any of the other ZTE phones. It's just stock Android. What's one feature I wish the phone had? I wish it had the stereo speaker set up like on the Axon 7. That's what I wish it had. I wish it had that set up. That would be actually pretty cool. Yeah, I guess if you're trying to purchase it, Michael, get it straight from ZTE. I wouldn't buy it from anywhere else, because a lot of companies are gonna try to jack the price up. And from what I understand, it's selling very well. So, I don't know. Bloatware, it's no bloatware on here. I think the only thing I saw was Facebook, and I deleted that. It lets you uninstall anything on here. You can pretty much uninstall everything on here. It's stock Android, so it let me uninstall Facebook, and that was that. I took it off and it was done. That's the only bloatware I saw. I'm looking at some of your questions down here. I think I saw El Jefe in here. What's going on, B? So no, it doesn't work on Sprint, but there are plenty of developers out there that have put it on Verizon, and everything, I talked about this in a video, I believe, everything works on, it's not certified with Verizon. I think what happened is ZTE didn't want to pay them like companies don't want, like OnePlus didn't want to pay for the IP rating. So it works on Verizon from what I'm understanding. Some people are just having problems with text messaging, like picture mail works, internet calls, everything works. But I think some people are having trouble with text messaging, but somebody said they already had a fix for that. So I don't know. You have to do your research. I'm not getting frustrated with your questions, man. It's crazy. Looking for some more of your questions. Drop your questions down below and I'll try to get to them in the stream. Do I like it better than the OnePlus 7? Check out the video I've done comparing this phone to the OnePlus 7, and you'll get your answer there. Looking for more of your questions on here. Yeah, there is screen recording. The phone has screen recording built in the drop down. It's the icon right here. It's right to the left or to the right there. You just hit that, and the screen recording is now recording right there. It's built into the software. So you can do screen recording built in. Don't need to buy any apps or anything. How's the battery life? Battery life is fantastic. I just happened to look up and see that question. I skipped ahead, but battery life is great on here, man. You can easily bang out 6-7 hours of screen on time in a full day. You'll definitely make it through a full day for sure. Is there a one-handed mode? I never looked for a one-handed mode because my hands are big enough, but I'm sure if there is one, it's in the gesture settings for the device. Let's see if we can sneak in there real quick without taking up too much time and look for a one-hand mode. If I can find it here, I'll see if there's something in there. I'll dig in. I might have to do a part 2 because I don't use one-handed mode. Just not something I need to use. So I'll try to look through there. Just off the surface in the side menu, I don't think I see a one-hand mode, but yeah, it's a pretty narrow phone, so it's looking pretty good. Looking for more of your questions. Drop your questions down below and I'll try to grab some of them in here. El Jefe, there he is. Yeah, having a good weekend, bro. Oh, man. I don't know of any trade-in deals from ZTE. I mean, the phone is only $550 and $599 for a 12 gig model. So I don't think they're gonna have any trade-in deals. You come out better just selling your phone and then, you know, yeah. Tech Level Mom, I ain't see you in here. What's going on? The top 3 things I dislike about the phone. I don't know if I have 3, but I definitely would like more case options. And then because I'm wearing the skin, at least it comes with a case. But the slipperiness of the phone, I don't like that. So I got to keep it clean and I got to keep it in its case. But other than that, I don't think there's anything that I don't have 3 dislikes at this point. Just that hardware on the back being a little slippery, you know, that's it. And having to keep it in the case for a little bit of grip. That's probably the only thing that I would dislike at this point. Facebook has always been bloatware to me. Never use it. Looking for your questions in here. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Okay, so I see one from Bad News Brown. There's no color options at this point. It's just this blue model. I actually talk about that in the upcoming video. I wish there was a red version of it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. See the Baron popping in. What's going on? Yeah, Facebook is seriously bloatware. Yeah, man. Yeah, it runs stock Android. Andre, I spoke of that earlier. I know I'm catching your questions a little late, but yeah. Does it have Type-C power delivery, super fast charging? Yes, it charges really fast. Check the specs on the website. You can see all the details for that, but I can guarantee you that it charges blazing fast. It's a really fast phone. Yeah, you can get a full day out of the battery for sure. See, questions like, I'm gonna answer a question from somebody in here in the chat. How are the updates versus OnePlus? Listen, updates, I know I just spoke about it, but you can't update a phone. Companies are not going to pay to update a phone, you know, if it's not selling well. So this phone just dropped. So as far as ZTE as a company, you're asking a question about the company and their practices and what they do. And I have no clue. I don't know. If this phone sells 10 billion units, of course they're going to keep updating it because that means people like it. But questions like that, you know, I don't know, man. You got to buy the phone, you know. But I would tell people this. This is the problem with the Android community. This doesn't exist in the Apple community. Apple people don't worry about software updates. And Apple is better at updates than Android. But the Android community is kind of caught up on these security patches and all that stuff. Folks, let me tell you something. Don't buy phones based on if you think it's going to get a software update. Don't do it. You're missing out on a ton of phones. You can't buy a phone based on if you think it's gonna get a software update. Don't do it. You're wasting your time. You're trying to predict something that is the inevitable could happen or it could happen. It's just a waste of your energy. You're gonna miss out on a lot of phones. And I'm not talking about buying this phone. I'm just saying in general, so many people are worried about security patches on the Android side and all that kind of stuff. Apple consumers could care less about that. The problem with a lot of people is they don't use their phones. And most of you guys are not using your phone to the full potential already. So why are you worried about a software update? Just buy the phone and use it and enjoy it. Because the problem I see with a lot of arguments and really petty arguments in the Android community is it's not going to get updated like the Pixel. It's not going to get updated like OnePlus. It's not going to get updated here. You don't need a security patch for your phone to work. It's the truth. That's something that's techies threw out there and got people hooked on for some reason. And you believe that you have to have a security. I'm not going to buy a phone if it's not going to be updated. There are so many phones that are not on the current software. Why would Android people at this point be worried about a software update? Yes. Okay, so tell me how software updates are important, Tony Pazzo. Please, I got to know. Because I have a ton of phones that are not on the current software and they run perfectly fine. I got to know. How is it that, you know, software updates are so important? But listen, we're talking about a cell phone. You guys are talking about security. On a cell phone, who's going to hack your cell phone? What could they possibly get out of your cell phone? I mean, seriously, I think this is something that it brings new features that people don't use. People don't use the so-called features that everybody keeps talking about. Only the technology side of the world cares about that. The average consumer, you guys can forget, not you, Tony Powell, just saying in general, people truly forget that the average consumer doesn't even know what it is and do not care. Yeah. People don't care about software updates and security patches. They don't even know what it is. That's only the technology side. That's only us who are in the tech world. Yeah, actually, Gabby or whatever your name is, I can't see that. Gabby Brown. Actually, I did go to college for that back in the day, but I choose not to do that. Say, shh, just hush that up because you don't know what you're talking about now. You know, anyway, security patches and all that stuff, folks, it's not important. If you're worried about buying a phone, if it's going to get a security patch, or you're going to wait for it to get updated, don't buy Android phones. Like, real talk. Don't buy Android phones because Android phones are the worst for security patch updates and the worst for security. They are. If that's something that you're worried about, that's crazy, man. I mean, you're going to miss out on a whole bunch of phones. And if you're into that, you know what I'm saying? If you're into that, don't buy Android phones if you're worried about getting security patches and software updates. Buy Apple products. I mean, but Android phones to me are far ahead of Apple products, and you can just do so much more. It's just a better experience. See, here's the thing that people think you watch, you don't think they are average consumers. No, average consumers are watching me, obviously. I don't have 100,000 techies following me. I have average consumers watching me. But the problem is the average consumers do not care, and they don't even know what the stuff is. They don't know what it is. Average consumer, walk up to a stranger who's walking around with a phone and say, what security patch level are you on? They're going to look at you like you're crazy. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. I know how to pick out an average consumer by now for all the things that I've done over the years. Hey, Technical T, what's going on? I see you, man. The average consumer has no clue. Like, some people, you can ask the average consumer about the bezels on their phone. They might laugh at you and be like, what? I don't know what you mean. Average consumers, you can spot them a mile away. The tech community, the tech community would frown on this phone right here. The tech community will frown on this phone because they would say, oh, it doesn't have a quad HD display. They took away the headphone jack, yada, yada, yada. Those are things that the tech community, and not just this phone, several phones, a lot of people would complain about it if you're in the tech world. In the real world, because techies don't live in the real world. They live in this fantasy world where they want a 4 or 5K display for $399 out of pocket, with 512 gigs of storage, a 500 gig SSD inside, or a 500 gig storage. They want a headphone jack. They want stereo speakers. They want all these things for $400. That's the techies right there. In the real world, tons of people are walking around with $29 phones, broken screens if they have a smartphone, or they have phones from years ago, because the average consumers do not care. She said, I don't like this thing at the top, Tony, saying his wife switched from the 6S to the 10R. But she's married to you, though. So you have influence over your wife. I hope you have some influence over your wife's choices. You doing tech reviews, you got to have some influence over your wife's choices. But you can argue the point that security patches and all this stuff are something that the average consumers care about, but you'd be way off on that, man. The average consumers don't even know what they are. So when it comes to buying phones that guarantee 3 years of updates, man, the majority of the world is not caring about what a security patch is or the screen resolution. They don't care about that. But I tell you what, the majority of the world will see the Galaxy Note 10 Plus or the 10, and they'll say, oh my gosh, this is cool. Or that's because they're being told it's cool. If ZTE had the money that Samsung had, it would be ZTE at the top of the world. It would be. I wouldn't recommend all the phones I have. I wouldn't recommend a ton of them because I would want a person to save money. I would recommend like Motorola's, you know what I'm saying, and LG's and Samsung Galaxy A line. The Galaxy A line, Samsung has a phone in the Galaxy A line for everyone, just like Motorola has one in there. And I'm really hoping that the Pixel line gets back and starts getting a phone for everybody. But there are plenty of phones, and ZTE obviously has a lot of pocket-friendly phones. The Galaxy A line is incredible, but this phone right here is close in price. So, you know, $550. This is actually quote unquote a flagship. So why would you tell a person not, like if you had both of these phones, right? If you had the Galaxy Note 10 and then the Axon 10 Pro, why would you tell a person to buy the Galaxy Note 10 over the Axon 10 Pro? They pretty much have the same specs minus the S Pen. So go figure. Go figure. Why would a person tell? It's just about brand recognition. Samsung is one of the worst for, if you want to be 100% honest, Samsung is one of the worst for software updates. They hardly ever update their phones. So the A line is, if a person wants a Samsung phone, I'm going to tell them to go to the A line. Don't even go to the S line. Go to the A line because you're going to get better battery. You're going to get way better performance than some of the other phones on the market. The software is good. Everything is good. There's no need to spend over $400 or $500 for a phone now because there's just no justifying it. You know what I'm saying? It's the companies, you can't really justify it, which is why ZTE dropped this one right here for $550. Yeah. That's what it is. Get rid of the A70 or the Axon 10 Pro. The A70. I mean, the A70, I've already compared the A70 up against one of the best phones on the market, some would say. And I still said I would recommend you get the A70. I mean, it's about price. I don't think it's a tough call. If you want to save a consumer some money, that's going to boil down to if a consumer wants a big phone or not. I wouldn't tell a person to buy this over the A70 because the A70 is $200 less. And you get an in-screen fingerprint reader, facial recognition, you get a headphone jack. Why would I tell a person to do that? I would compare, though, the A50. Now, even though this has the better internals than the A70, I still wouldn't tell a person, you know, most people who are asking about money, they want to save money. You know what I'm saying? It's not that the problem with that is that the A70 beats out a whole bunch of phones. That's the problem. Samsung's kicking themselves in the butt, just like the Pixel 3a line, way better than a ton of phones out there. The Pixel 3a is a better phone than a lot of phones, folks. You got to recognize the Pixel 3a line has the best cameras on the market, in my opinion. It's just some of the best. And now the Galaxy A line comes along. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The Pixel 3a line made me forget about chipsets because I was talking bad about the Pixel 3a line. But once I got it in hand, I was like, whoa, I could recommend the 3a line to everybody. Yeah. The 3A has great cameras, everything, man. I've already compared them. I mean, you do the math. I already compared the Galaxy Note 10 Plus next to the A70, and the A70 is a smarter choice. If I put the Galaxy Note 10 next to if I put the Galaxy Note 10 and the Axon 10 Pro next to each other, the Axon 10 Pro is the better purchase. Anybody disagree? Don't tell me Samsung Pay because this has Google Pay. This is a stock Android phone, so you can make payments. Google Pay is accepted everywhere. Why would you tell a person to spend $1,000 when they can spend $550? Just keep it all the way 100. I mean, why would I tell a person to buy the Note 10, instead of the Axon 10 Pro? Why would I do that? Samsung Pay is good and everything. Seriously, Samsung Pay is good. I use Samsung Pay. But if I can save a person $450 and get the only difference is Samsung Pay and the S Pen. Prove me wrong. Okay, so let's be clear here. The cameras on the Note 10 is much better, in my opinion, in my experience, which you'll see that video later, much better than the Axon 10's cameras, but not by much. But is it $500 better? Keep it 100. No phone. The Axon 10 cameras, have you seen these cameras? They're fantastic. They're fantastic. The Axon 10 is the much smarter purchase than the Note 10. And I'm holding the phones, folks. I have nothing to try to sway you, but also the A line from Samsung is a better purchase than this one. But if you're just talking about flagships to flagships, which is these two, this is the smarter purchase. You get the same phone minus the S Pen, and the cameras are a little bit better on the Galaxy Note 10, the smaller variant. But are they $500 better? Absolutely not. And if you say so, hey, I respect your opinion, but you're crazy. There's absolutely no way. There's no way I would tell a person not to buy this or to get the Galaxy Note 10 over this, because the Galaxy Note 10, you know what I'm saying, has the 1080p dynamic AMOLED display. This has AMOLED display. This has always on display. It's got a lot of perks in here, man. It's a good phone. No sales pitch here, man. But if you just want to save even more money than that, definitely go with the Galaxy A line. The A70 to me, no offense to the people that have anything under the A70, no offense to the people that have the A80, but the A70 is the smartest and best purchase from Samsung right now, period. Hands down, if you're looking for Samsung, buy the Galaxy A70. My name is Jay Williams, and I approve this message all day long. And if you want a flagship device or quote-unquote flagship device with tons of potential, and it's going to give you all the bang for your buck. We're talking about a 4,000 milliamp hour battery inside, AMOLED display, full screen display, stereo speakers, SD card, 256 gigs onboard storage, 8 gigs of storage for $550. This technically beats out the OnePlus on a bad day. But since so people are so caught up on, oh, it's going to get an update and all this other stuff like that, you start to stray away. You start talking about, isn't ZTE banned from the US? Well, obviously, man, ZTE is not banned from the US. They're selling the phone. So squash all that nonsense, get out, quit following the gossip, and then just buy the phone that you want. The 12 gig version of this phone only costs $599. The OnePlus 12 gig version costs $750. You're getting the Snapdragon 850. You're getting the same internals, everything. You just don't have a quad HD display. You don't have a 90 hertz display. I'm telling you, folks, you gotta wake up, man. You gotta wake up. The phones out here is really, really good. And if you limit yourself to what somebody else thinks about a phone, even listen, and let me just be clear here, don't take my word for it. Go buy it yourself. Go buy it yourself. Go buy it yourself. You can go right to the US website and buy this phone. It works. It's got all the bands, everything. It'll work just fine. Yeah. 90 hertz on the display. I got the OnePlus, and people talk about, oh, it needs a 90 hertz display. Forget the 90 hertz display. You should be looking at the 120 hertz display, because those are actually really good. 90 hertz to 60 hertz, folks. If you fall for the gimmick on that, when you're scrolling back and forth, you can really see it. And you cannot see 90 hertz in your regular day-to-day use. At least I can't. And I have the phone. So, I mean, I like the OnePlus 7 Pro. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, you don't need a 90 hertz display, man. If you're going to go up, go to a 120. That's where you can see it. And for the people that have the Razer phone, I bought it too, or I got sent that one too. I checked it out. For people who have the Razer phone, you know that 120 hertz is the real deal. You know the 120 hertz is the real deal. This 90 hertz is cool and everything, but I'm not falling for the slow motion videos. Again, I got the phone upstairs in the office. I don't have to watch something in slow motion just to determine whether it's got 90 hertz or not, and I can really see what it is. There's no way, man. There's no way. You got to do your research. Don't take anything anybody says for granted, or take it for what it is on the surface and just move on and buy it yourself. You have to. And at $550, man, this is a killer deal. Like I said, let me go on record one more time. I will buy the Axon 10 Pro over the Note 10, the smaller variant, because it's the same phone, minus the Pay S Pen, and the cameras are a little better, but the cameras are not $500 better. Let's be clear on that. Maybe your version isn't as good as others. Man, get out of here, man. You're just sold on the, no disrespect, but you sold on the marketing. And you might only have that phone. I have like 100 phones, and I have all the latest phones, man. And if you intrigued by all that marketing right there, get out of here. That's a scam, man. It's just marketing. People fall for the hype. You know what I'm saying? People are already saying that the Note 10 Plus is the best phone on the market. People feel like the Note 10 Plus is the be-all, kill-all. Well, the Pixel 4 isn't here yet. The Pixel 4 isn't here yet. The iPhone isn't here yet. You know what I'm saying? The year isn't over. This phone right here is something that people don't know. This has that fast storage. What is that, the UH3 or whatever it is? I got to look at the spec sheet or whatever. This has the file storage system that's blazing fast. But, you won't hear too many people talk about that. Yeah. Okay, I agree. Big bulb. Some people's vision is better than mine, I guess. But you know, hey, it is what it is. The 90 hertz thing, man. When does it come? When do you actually use 90 hertz? Just curious. Yeah, the UFS 3. This phone has that. When do you actually use 90 hertz? I'm curious. Somebody tell me when you use 90 hertz. There's a curve edges. This question, no. Okay, so the curves display on this one is a nut. It's way better than the OnePlus 7 Pro. This curve is nowhere near as bad. This curve is really good. I actually have accidental touches on my OnePlus 7 Pro. Yeah. I actually have accidental touches on my OnePlus 7 Pro. Yeah. Our dog says, I don't think many sites are even optimized for 90 hertz. I think that's what he said. Yeah, most sites and apps are optimized for 90. They're not. Yeah, I would agree. They're probably not. But I just think once people hear and see something being banged into their head, they start to believe it. Yeah, start to believe it. I'm trying to figure out where you actually can use 90 hertz. 120 hertz, you use that in gaming for sure. Gaming is the place where you will definitely see the 120 hertz. You'll see a really good rotation of the games and stuff like that. Other than that, man, you can't see 90 hertz like that. Marketing is what it is, B. You're just falling for that good marketing, not falling for it in a bad way. Just falling for it that's your only selling point for phones. I mean, when you think about it, why do you need 90 hertz? Or why do you think you need it? Because they told you did. Nobody was talking about 90 hertz until OnePlus decided, oh, we got 90 hertz, which is silly to me because the Razer phone had 120 hertz and people kind of frowned on that because they labeled their phones as gaming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They label it as gaming. Yeah. So I don't have to have a phone that has 90 hertz. It's silly. I'm not even it's a phone, man. Think about it. It's a phone. What do you need 90 hertz for if you're not gaming? If you're not gaming, why do you need to see 90 hertz? I don't get it. It's true. Marketing 101, man. I took the class. If some of you haven't, you don't know what you want until they tell you what you want. Take a marketing class, and that's what you're going to hear. Yeah. It's not that I'm not saying it's not real, or I'm just saying that you shouldn't be offended if you're sucked into that marketing. That's all it is. Marketing 101. Take the class and you will hear them clearly say they don't know what they want. We'll tell them what they want. Yeah. So if you don't have this phone, it doesn't matter that it doesn't have a 90 hertz display and it doesn't have a quad HD display. It's up to you whether you want to buy it, but I just feel like I would never tell a person to buy this over the smaller Note or several phones, man, because any phone that has an AMOLED display, Snapdragon 855, you know, all those things in the 8 gigs of storage. This one has 8 gigs of storage, 256 for $550, IP68, wireless charging. I mean, there's a lot going. Let's call out what we think this phone doesn't have. It doesn't have a quad HD display, and it doesn't have a headphone jack. What else? What else doesn't it have? Because there's too many things to list for what it does have. So it doesn't have a quad HD display. If it has an AMOLED display, and you're talking about no S Pen, okay, yeah, but the S Pen isn't the standard for the market. Every phone doesn't have an S Pen, so that's just Samsung. It's got waterproofing. It's got IP68. It's got wireless charging. Yeah, let's call out what it doesn't have. So it doesn't have IR blasters are not standard on phones. So, you know, quad HD display and a headphone jack is the only two things I could think of that this doesn't have, because it does have stereo speakers. It has a low price tag. It has Type-C. You know, it's got an AMOLED display. It's got all the bands. Yes, it has all the bands, 66 to 71. It's got the UFS 3.0. Yes, I just talked about that. Wireless charging, IP68. It has everything. So it just doesn't have a headphone jack, which this has the DAC inside, and it has Dolby Atmos. So when you plug in with their adapter and everything, it's killer. It's killer. I'm telling you, it's killer. So the things that the industry says it doesn't have gimmicks. Yeah, right, for sure. So, I mean, for $550, folks, the 12 gig model is only $599. So it doesn't have a headphone jack, which you technically don't need because this phone has a serious DAC inside, and then it doesn't have a Quad HD display. And other than that, folks, I don't see how this is a bad purchase, if you will. It's up to you to decide. But I would tell a person the Axon 10 Pro is definitely a go. It's killer. It's a killer phone. Wouldn't steer you wrong. So we're going on about 50 minutes, man. I don't want to make this too long for the replay crew. But it's your man Jay. Wanted to jump on for the Monday and give you guys a little stream real quick. I gotta make some moves. Appreciate you guys. If I didn't get to your question in here, man, maybe I'll do a part 2 or something like that, and we'll get some more things popping off of this phone. But I'm working on my full review. Not my full review. I'm working on my 7-day, kind of a week review for you guys using this. I've been using this for over a week, but it was in and out of my second SIM. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, it's kind of a week's review or so. Yeah, man, I'll probably do another live stream probably tomorrow or something like that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah, I want to make it kind of short for the replay crew. It's like 52 minutes right now. So the phone is totally worth it, folks. It's a smart purchase too. And I've gone over Note at A70. I've gone over all these phones. You asked all your questions. I answered them for you. You know what I'm saying? As best I could. So we'll definitely kick it again on another rotation of a live stream. But it's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Post your questions for the replay crew down there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I think you'll enjoy this stream. Post questions down there. I try to get it once it actually goes full stream as a video, and I'll try to get some of those questions answered when I can. Or collectively as a community, we can answer those questions together. It's your man Jay. I'm out.